Cool. Greetings, YouTube. Hello. Good to have you with us. Let me get my chats up for everybody here, too. There's my D Live. God, I gotta figure out how to bind that to a button, just like on my Stream Deck thing, my little dingus here. Because I know there's a way to do it. There's a way to bind it to a button, so I can just hit a button, and bang, it'll pop up both my chats. It'll bring up my browser windows, go to the website I need. I gotta. It involves some like light programming, though. Unfortunately, I gotta get some learning to do. Apple script. Played with it a little bit the other day. It was my first foray into programming in probably 2 decades. It was fun. Didn't go so well. It worked a little bit. It was fun, but I ran into some issues. It was a particularly weird use case, though. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get it to work for the browser thing. That'll be nice, because it takes up so much time just like doing small things like that. It'd be nice to kind of like automate some of that to a button press. It'd be pretty cool. All right, there's me. Here's my YouTube friends. Okay. Let's pop you guys out. Get you down on my little monitor there. Beautiful. All right, let's get going. Come on now. There we are. All right, cool. Got to figure out how to bind all that to a button too. It takes forever to click all those freaking check boxes. Okay. Let me see what I have first. Since I saw you last, probably a fair amount. Well, maybe not. Okay, not too bad. Florida Sheriff here.
If you resist lawful orders,
Love this guy.
You're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here.
Big, beautiful dogs.
If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
Nice.
If you resist lawful orders.
I always forget his name, but he's awesome. Win Ivy. Great sheriff. Love our base sheriffs. We do have a few. Minneapolis riders get way too close to federal agents and eat a face full of mace and shotgun pepper round special delivery. Okay.
Get back on the sidewalk. You know that. You know that. You're
Still freezing? Ah, come on now. Not cooperating.
Get back! What the fuck is wrong with your asshole? You motherfuckers!
All right. We got to figure out how to fix that. See, this is one of the reasons I need to get a fresh desktop machine figured out, which I'm doing. Is the laptop is just barely like it hangs up, does all funky stuff like this. My video freezes, and yeah, we'll have that squared away in a couple of weeks, I think. Hopefully this won't be an issue anymore. Starting to remind Chop Chaz in Seattle of 2020, several blocks barricaded by protesters with no signs of slowing down. Dude, come on, man. Fine. Yep. We're back to Chop Chaz. What are they going to call this one? Cham? Chom? Cham? Chum?
Get the fuck back! And you motherfuckers get fined for your crimes! You guys suck so bad, you're gonna be in so much fucking prison! Fucking bitch! Suck my dick, you fucking pussy! Do the job! Put your hand in your fucking...
Guy? Is this even your fucking asshole? Get away.
Hey. Is even your asshole?
You wouldn't be here.
What?
Who the fuck is that?
I'm going to the sidewalk right now. I'm going there right now.
No, you're too close. You're too close. Right up there.
Keep saying shit. Go ahead. Keep saying shit. Yeah. Listen to your boss, man. Maybe you should take a break.
Good golly.
He said we can stand right here. He said we can stand right here. You can take pictures beyond the sidewalk. Just stay away from the vehicle. Stay away from the vehicle.
Like, come on.
Get the fuck out of here.
How do people live like this? Can't imagine being a sane person in this state.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, come on now. We're just gonna have to work around that today, I guess. It is it's not playing nice. Okay, just do it this way. Better, I know, but
Get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome here. Fucking fascist murderer. Piece of shit. Burn in hell. Fuck you!
Not engage with them.
Be safe.
Not engage with them.
I think a lot of these people just get caught up in this because their lives are so painfully fucking boring. And some kind of fresh novelty has just happened into their lives, and they don't care. They're going to seize on it because, damn it, their life sucks. Everything is boring. And this is not.
Listen to your boss, man. Maybe you should take a break.
They go out and they see their neighbors engaging and participating in the madness and think it's okay.
He said we can stand right here. He said we can
Everyone else is doing it, right?
stand right here. You can take pictures, be on the sidewalk. Just stay away from the vehicle. Stay away from.
People can be shockingly ignorant of very real, very imminent consequences when they are surrounded by people doing stupid shit. They will ignore a lot.
Like, come on. Get the fuck out of here.
Fucking lemmings. Okay. What meow? What is this? All recently revealed signal chats show that this felonious paramilitary operation to disrupt ICE operations is being formally coordinated. Yep. With Minnesota's Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan. Flan. She's known, apparently, in the chats. And other elected state officials and appointed. There's a criminal conspiracy of immense and troubling magnitude that reaches all the way to the Minnesota State House and the governor's mansion, you bet.
What sticks out to me from covering these protests here for the past several days in Minneapolis is just how organized these protesters are. We talked about the ICE Watch Group. These people have spotters, Sean, all over the city. So they see who pulls in and out of the federal building, whether they're ICE agents or not. They want to track you down. They want to put you in a database, and then it's shared according to DHS sources through signal chat. So that's what sticks out to me about this. They're angry, they're motivated, and they have a message for these ICE agents that they don't want them in the city of Minneapolis. And I think it's important to point out, too, as you have when you're talking about who these neighbors are. I asked those protesters, you're here to protect your neighbors. We hear it from the governor. We hear it from the mayor of Minneapolis. Who are the neighbors? I asked a few of the protesters. Are you here to protect the guy who DHS says was in the country illegally that is wanted for sodomy, for murder? And they say, no, that is not true. They're taking, American citizens into custody. So no matter what you say, no matter what the facts are from DHS or from whatever side, they don't want to hear it.
They won't.
So that's what we've been dealing with on the ground. Things do escalate, and then 1 minute it's okay, you blink, and it's a different story.
And at this point, now that they've got their propaganda packages all nice and sorted, so many people have been pushed off the fence onto their side by this pretty guy. Sad. It's really bad.
The smell of tear gas ongoing here in Minneapolis, Sean.
They fumbled the ball big time letting that happen. Hate to say, but they did.
All right, Alexis, thank you for that report. And tonight, in just a moment, where
did I tag this one? While it's telling people to go film ICE. Yeah, he's compiling database while simultaneously telling law enforcement to stand down. Minneapolis PD isn't even there for crowd control. Citizens are on their own. So one shows up to film, like the governor said, and brings a gun into a crime scene where he knows he'll be outgunned 30-1 and gets himself killed. Yep. That's exactly what they knew was eventually going to happen. Not even providing basic public safety. We're about 48 hours away from vigilantism, I'd say. And that was posted a little under 24 hours ago. So give it another day. We'll see. Okay. Come back here. Where'd you go? There we are, scheduled for the day. Oh, President participates in a meeting with the Secretary of the Air Force, 1 p.m. Press briefing by Carolyn Levitt going on at the same time. President participating in a policy meeting. 2:30 to 3 or so. And then a radio interview at 4:30. Wonder who with. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Anti-ICE protesters holding noise demo erect barricades outside of a hotel where they suspect ICE agents are staying. Oh, and use trash cans as drums. Derp. Apparently trying to enter the hotel. Ever let it get to this point by opening those doors? Like, why did they not have this shit locked down? Yeah, we'll just go open the door and tell them to leave. Wow, they actually did it? They actually left?
Try the door. Get out of here. All these people are local. Everything's local. And everybody's hospital. Out of here.
Oh my gosh. People are insane. Lord, come on, guys. Where's the pepper spray at? For the love of God, come on. Goodness gracious. Can you imagine having to work as an officer in an environment like this? Shit just blaring in your ear for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Jesus. Just shattered the windows at the hotel. Wow. Police nowhere to be found. Trash the room. Astonishing, man.
Is everyone pressed?
Oh, wow.
We're over 90. We're all members of the press. We're all press here. Okay. This officer appears to be bleeding from the mouth.
Bleeding from the mouth, this guy.
Oh my God. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Says he's all right. He's all right.
Where's the local PD? That's my question for the press.
Okay. This officer.
Where is the local PD?
Way to go, officer. Yes.
What's your message to the local PD, sir?
Where the fuck are you?
Okay.
Well, the mayor.
Very chaotic.
Sir, while you're giving messages, what would your message to the protesters that want you out be?
Impromptu press conference with
As long as you're getting
No
comment,
comment.
if you have any comments,
Please
to the
get
people that want
back
you
up.
out.
Back up. Please give me some room.
He's pouring, man. That thing is soaked. His mask is straight up soaked, dude.
Get back.
What, and by the way, what the hell was the deal with them leaving one injured cop out here to fend off whatever the fuck this shit is? Pardon me, but what? I don't blame him for speaking up like that. Jeez. He might get in trouble for that, unfortunately, but wow.
You pressed? Or you pressed?
Oh, so this is how he got bloodied, I guess.
Get back. Or you pressed?
Are you pressed, he's asking her? Or him?
Get back. Get back. Get back.
Yo. That was a brick, dude. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Or something. It was really big, whatever it was. There they are, right there. Unreal.
No.
He might have lost a tooth. Jesus. Riders have now started destroying vehicles they believe could potentially be ICE vehicles. Who knows if they actually are? They don't care. Oh my gosh. Just for having out-of-state tags. Wow.
For weeks now, agitators here have been identifying hotels in the Twin Cities where they think immigration agents are staying. They surround the hotels, they bang drums, make as much noise as humanly possible, sometimes break into these hotels. It's all in an effort to prevent immigration agents from getting rest or sleep. This latest riot happened last night at a Minneapolis Hilton. Protesters banged on trash cans, slammed snow shovels, blew whistles, and tried to force their way in. Minnesota State Police say officers surrounded the protesters who began to smash windows and spray paint F-ice on the building. Federal agents arrived and used tear gas. One federal agent was seen bloodied. 2 people were reportedly taken into custody. Now, this violent demonstration comes after more video is emerging of the shooting death of Alex Preddy on Saturday.
Man, and they keep pushing people, you know?
Kind of bizarre.
They killed my... Did they?
Frustration, restraining order against the Trump administration investigation. And today there's actually a hearing where a Trump-appointed judge may extend the temporary restraining order against the Trump administration.
Oh, jeez.
It is in the DNA of American history that the federal government cannot trample over the prerogatives of the state. And that is exactly what is happening here, and that is exactly why we're going to court.
Fox's Bill Malugin reports multiple federal sources say there is frustration within DHS about the initial messaging given to the public about the Alex Preddy shooting, particularly implying Preddy was trying to do maximum damage or massacre people. DHS giving Fox this statement in response, saying, "We have seen a highly coordinated campaign of violence against our law enforcement. This individual committed a federal crime while armed as he obstructed an active law enforcement operation. As with any situation that is evolving, we work to give swift, accurate information to the American people as more information becomes available." And here's Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino.
Let's think of what those agents were doing on that scene, making a split-second decision. You've had 24 hours to try and armchair quarterback things. That agent had a split seconds to make a decision.
And yesterday, the governor of this state compared the immigration enforcement
to Nazi Germany,
Holocaust, and Anne Frank, and said a book will be written about what is going on here.
Oh, you bet it will. I'm sure they will absolutely be cranking out Anne Frank-esque propaganda. Shocking video shows thieves crashing an SUV through a California jewelry store in a wild $1 million heist. Fun.
Take a look at this. Thieves crashing into crashing an SUV into a jewelry store in Southern California before taking off with $1 million.
Oh, so they bust in with the car. Okay, I was confused there. I thought the crash happened after the heist, but the crash was part of the heist.
Of merchandise. You could see the car here ramming into the front of the store. This happened in broad daylight. Masked bandits then smashed display cases, grabbed handfuls of jewelry, then took off, ditching that car. They were able to escape the scene of the crime, but not for long. Thankfully, all 8 suspects were caught after getting into 2 car crashes.
Oh, wow. Couldn't pull it off, huh? Suck ass. DC delegate ends re-election campaign amid pressure to retire. Oh, this wackadoo bitch. "88 years old. Ended her re-election campaign. And made calls for her retirement. Oh, wow. "I'm going to run. I don't know why anyone would even ask me," she apparently said. Probably because you're 88. It might be why. You look like you're on death's door and have been for the better part of a decade. Early stage dementia? Well, we'll throw that into the mix too. Why not? Senate in session today, no votes. But what happens with spending bills later this week is a big problem as Democrats pull their opposition to the DHS section, of course. Yeah, here we go. All over again. Congress launches investigation into Ilhan Omar's skyrocketing net worth after reports of a 3,500% increase. Probe comes as her husband's business partner, William Haler, is back in the spotlight after settling multiple lawsuits over claims of defrauding investors. Well, Minneapolis city crews are now out here with dump trucks cleaning up the mess left in the streets.
They're bringing out heavy machinery to move.
Okay, bulldozer. That would be bulldozer.
All the trash and debris from the streets. It's like Minneapolis Public Works might be out here as well. What a waste of taxpayer dollars. Incredible.
Yeah, God only knows how much this cost. Hauling out heavy machinery like that to deal with this bullshit. Paying all the workers. Ooh, yeah. Thank you. MPCA calls for a meeting with the White House to discuss public safety in Minnesota, the Minnesota Chiefs of Police Association. Wonder how compromised they are, top to bottom. What do they say in their little letter here? Okay. Calling for a constructive path forward. Well, that'd be nice if I could believe you. Minnesota Rep. Angie Craig demands Senate Democrats shut down the government again to defund ICE.
In your view, should Democrats shut the government down over ICE?
Democrats cannot keep acting like these are normal times in our country. That's my response to you.
And why exactly are these not normal times? Could it be because of you?
I voted against.
So because you people have fucked everything up, you're now going to take that as your excuse to make things even worse.
Against the DHS funding bill on the House floor last week, and I voted against the 3 other bills that were put before me. Look, the levers we have in the minority are few, but this is one of them. And so I encourage my Senate Democratic friends to do whatever it takes to get ICE out of Minnesota.
In your view, should Democrats shut the government?
Crazy. Oh, and we got this one. Fart boy.
So let's talk about Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who says he's going to vote against the DHS spending bill, which passed the House this week. You say you need to crush ICE's budget. Is that the best way to do it? Is that the only tool congressional Democrats have at this point?
Yes, and I voted in Washington, D.C. last week to crush ICE's budget. This has gone too far. Nobody asked for this. And if ICE continues to operate the way that they do, we're going to lose another
effectively
mother named Good and another nurse named Pretty.
You know, that could all be avoided if you, I don't know, called off your tard hounds. Extreme cold freezes iconic Niagara Falls. Wow. Yeah, look at that. Ice. Beautiful though. Stunning. Rainbow especially. See that? Look at that. God, that's so cool. Look at that. NTSB will rule on the cause of the midair collision that killed 67 people near DC airport. Yeah, that big crash from last year. So they're ruling on that today or tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, the National Transportation Safety Board is set to hold a final meeting on the deadly midair collision that happened last January in Washington. 67 people died when the commercial flight and a Black Hawk training helicopter collided over the Potomac. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy saying ahead of tomorrow's meeting, quote, "These are complex investigations, and it's not just one thing. It ends up that it's numerous failures in the system that led to a tragedy." Yeah, tomorrow, the National Transportation Safety Board is set to hold a final meeting on the deadly.
Wonder what they'll say. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is just going over all the signal chats. Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, let's go through some of it. Okay. Coordinated web of encrypted chats, street alerts, and tracking of ICE abductors in a sophisticated database reviewed by Fox News Digital shows that agitators were already mobilized at the scene where Alex Pretty was killed minutes before any shots were fired. I'm assuming he was part of that mobilization. ICE and Border Patrol agents were there to arrest an illegal immigrant criminal, and Pretty and others were there outside a donut shop to meet them as part of a strategic pattern of organized interference with law enforcement operations. Over the following hours, a national network of socialist, communist, and Marxist-Leninist cells in the United States leveraged the tragic fatality, of course, into a nationwide protest operation. They were ready and waiting for it, I guarantee you, because that's what they've been going for the entire time. Tragic death after tragic death after tragic death. Create a martyr. It's in their own documentation, like straight out of the freaking CIA playbook. Go figure. Not that that's specific to the CIA or anything. It's just they kind of locked in on a workable method for toppling a country, and naturally others are going to do it too. Crazy. Watching it play out here in our own country, though. This level of engineered chaos is unique to Minneapolis. It's the direct consequence of far-left agitators working with local authorities, J.D. Vance observed in a post. Encrypted signal messages were obtained by Fox News and in real time show that anti-ICE rapid responders were actively tracking broadcasting and summoning backup around federal agents outside Glam Doll Donuts on Nicollet Avenue, where the shooting happened. Local rapid responders made at least 26 entries into a database called Minnesota Ice Plates in the critical hours before and after the killing, documenting license plate numbers and details of alleged ICE vehicles they claim to see around Nicollet Avenue. Okay, some user identified as Willow shared a 22-second video on an encrypted signal chat for anti-ICE rapid responders. 26 and 3rd, wrote Willow, quickly following up with outside Glam Doll. The video showed two agents, one wearing a vest marked police, studying the front door of Glam Doll before walking away, past a sign in the window that read ICE out of Minnesota. Jeez, they have like full-blown pop-up intel agency, effectively. Like, this is nuts. In a matter of a couple weeks. Just imagine what they'd do if they actually had power. DOJ charges 31, including alleged Tren de Aragua members, an ATM malware case. They're hacking ATMs, huh? If you think Medicaid and daycare fraud was bad, imagine how bad the voter fraud is. Well, yeah, you bet. Oh, wow. The DFL party statement on Trump and Bondi's attempt to extort our state voter rolls. Extort by what? Looking at them? Donald Trump and Pam Bondi are demanding access to Minnesotans' voter rolls in exchange for relieving us from the federal siege we are under. Let us be direct. Fuck off. This seem a little defensive. It's something to hide, or?
The hypocrisy here is thick, and I would say that what we have here is a situation where rights were violated. Those rights need to be protected, and there is a law here that can be accessed to ensure those protections. We are thankful that the Department of Justice is moving swiftly to make sure that happens, and the church will continue to evaluate their legal options to make sure that churches in Minnesota, and especially Cities Church, are protected. The hypocrisy here is thick, and I would say that what we have here is a situation where rights were violated. Those rights need to be protected, and there is a law here that can be accessed to ensure
people at the church. Yeah. Drone footage captured several people walking along an ice-covered pier in St. Joseph, Michigan, despite warning signs against it. God, people are fucking dumb, man. I mean, it's really pretty, I guess, but I don't know. One slip, one fall into that water, and you're fucked. Certainly wouldn't be fun. Partial government shutdown looms as Senate Democrats push back against DHS funding. Oh, come now.
May have all but sealed another government shutdown just days from now. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Democrats will not move forward with a spending bill that includes DHS funding. South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham posted to X scolding Democrats backing out of the bipartisan agreement, calling it reckless. Chief Congressional Correspondent Chad Pergram is tracking this closely and joins us by phone. Hi, Chad.
Rich, good afternoon. It is increasingly likely we have a partial government shutdown next Saturday morning.
Of course.
It's about the math. Republicans need the votes of Democrats to clear a filibuster and put the spending plan on the floor. Now, Democrats were sketchy in their support before the shooting, but yesterday pushed them over the edge. Listen.
We can't vote to fund this lawless Department of Homeland Security. We cannot fund a Department of Homeland Security that is murdering American citizens, that is traumatizing little boys and girls all across the country in violation of the law.
Now, this bill funds 78% of the government. It includes money for DHS and the Pentagon. They need 60 yeas. Independent Senator Angus King of Maine helped end the fall shutdown, but he will not vote yes this time because of ICE.
I hate shutdowns. I'm one of the people that helped negotiate the solution to the end of the last shutdown, but I can't vote for a bill that includes ICE funding under these circumstances.
And even if they change the spending package, funding would lapse because the House and Senate are not aligned. The House is out this week. New Hampshire Democrat Jean Shaheen did not respond directly when asked how she would vote.
People are outraged by what's happening in Minnesota and by the out-of-control officers, federal officers that they're seeing on the ground by this shooting yesterday. It is horrific.
Now, as you say, GOP South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham accused Democrats of backing out of a bipartisan deal. He called this, quote, reckless and disappointing. They're trying to maybe rejigger this package a little bit in the Senate.
He said jigger. All right. Zelensky says a U.S. security guarantees document for Ukraine is 100% ready after 2 days of talks involving reps from all three countries, Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S. The first trilateral talks, I believe, that they have had so far.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says that the U.S. security guarantees for Ukraine are, quote, 100% ready to be signed after days of trilateral talks. Zelensky telling reporters, quote, there have been many problematic issues. There are fewer now, and this has been the case for quite some time. Zelensky going on to emphasize that, quote, all sides must be ready to compromise, including the U.S. Negotiations are expected to resume in the Middle East next week. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky.
Well, get on with it and sign the fucker then. What's the holdup? Wow, that's crazy. 14 dead across multiple states so far. 15, 18, sorry. It just keeps going up.
This morning, nearly 270 million Americans across the central and eastern U.S. under alert as dangerous winter weather grips much of the country. Parts of Massachusetts buried in 2 feet of snow. Parts of New England seeing snowfall rates up to 2 inches per hour. In Norwood, Mass., a woman dying and her husband seriously injured after they were hit by a snowplow in this parking lot.
You know, my biggest message is please take it seriously. Stay off the roads and check in on your neighbors.
In New York City, the mayor saying at least 6 people died because of the storm as frigid temperatures gripped the tri-state. Up and down the East Coast, sleet and rain creating chaotic driving conditions. Vehicles littered on this highway in Missouri. In the South, more than 1 million without power as thick ice puts pressure on power lines.
There's trees down everywhere and power lines as well.
In Nashville, ice overwhelming the branches on these trees, sending them crashing into the road. Extreme cold causing plumbing problems at this hotel in Oklahoma, part of the ceiling collapsing.
And this is the biggest snowstorm that Philly has seen in the last decade. The most snow so far in the last 4 years for places like New York City and other areas. And even though the snowstorm shut down Boston for the 2nd day now, it is not over yet. Another 2 to 4 inches is expected to fall today. And there's a winter storm warning in place until this evening, George.
Janae Norman, thanks.
Ay, ay, ay. Come on now. There we go. Digging out the Capitol. Ah, yes. Here's home.
Fox weather correspondent Katie Byrne is in D.C. with the latest.
It was a rough one.
Katie, good morning. It looks like you guys are mobile. What you doing?
What you doing?
Hi, guys. We are inside of a plow right now. We've got Princess Cat with us. She is driving.
Princess what?
Princess Cat with us. She is driving.
Princess Cat? I don't know.
One of the
Her name is Princess. Oh my God.
Plows that the DC DPW has.
And she's literally wearing a crown. God, that is so DC.
And we're moving through this.
DC black women are. There's something.
City and kind of giving you an idea of what roads look like. These main roads looking pretty good right now, but some of the side roads. Kat, what do you think? Some of them are still a little rough?
A lot of the side roads are impassable.
And what has it been like working? You started
She's literally wearing a freaking tiara, driving around her snowplow.
3 nights.
In the twilight hours in DC.
Now.
A tiara.
What has it been like for this storm for you?
The storm is it's challenging because we haven't had a storm like this in the recent years.
Yeah.
You know, so
she's like doing her hairs.
Oh, this is a good street maybe that we could go down. What do you think? Maybe too narrow.
Yeah,
okay.
Because with the plow, when the plow is down, it pulls you. It pulls. So my biggest fear is that it will snatch me into a car.
Yeah.
I'd say that's now my biggest fear too. Thanks, Princess.
Yeah.
Thanks for that new nightmare.
So You see how like right here.
Yeah,
It's
take a
gonna
look at
jerk
this,
me.
guys. We still have some piles of snow here, and what I've noticed this morning stepping outside is you can actually walk on top of all the snow at this point. It is completely frozen in some places.
You see how it's just kind of snatching me a little bit. So if the street is too narrow, I absolutely have to lift the plow up.
Yeah. Are there certain plows that maybe are better for streets like that compared to this big one?
The smaller plows are designed for the residential areas and the small streets.
You got to get those areas too.
However, once the snow hits, it's going to snatch them too. It's going to snatch them. So it's pretty high off the ground. The snow is inches.
Yeah. I understand DC's DPW, you guys have 300 plus pieces of equipment out at the peak of the storm handling.
They had that shit out in force, though, I got to say. All over the tri-state region. Like, this is crazy. I can't even remember the last time I've seen anything quite like it. Like, we went out shopping at a grocery the night before everything hit, and they had these things staged in like every major parking lot with like cops sitting there like watching the whole thing, and like 20 freaking plows just kind of chilling together in the parking lot, just waiting for it. They were definitely ready, which is nice because I do remember a handful of occasions in the past where we've had a storm like this and they've not been ready, and it's been like disastrous. It's been really bad. So it was good. It was good.
Preferred choice. The preferred choice. We're gonna get it done.
So you're working on these 12 to 12 shifts right now.
Yes.
We'll see how long they leave us stranded. We're usually stranded for like, I don't know, a good while before they actually get to us and come plow our neighborhood for whatever reason. Even though we're like not even out of the way, we're literally like the complete opposite of out of the way. We're in the middle of the shed. Like, we're in the middle of everything. And somehow we always end up being like the last freaking street plowed. Every time. Been that way for decades. Power outages across the south amid storm. We did not get hit with the power outage, thank God. We were ready for it, though. I'll tell you that.
Hit by the dangerous storm, and that is where we find CBS's Jason Allen in hard-hit Oklahoma City. Jason.
Jerika, this storm blanketed Oklahoma in snow. Nearly 9 inches fell here, and that sets snowfall records 2 days in a row.
Wow.
A deadly deep freeze has the South in its grip.
That's pretty. That is, if it weren't for all the destruction on the ground too, but even that's just kind of oddly beautiful too.
Thick layers of ice are paralyzing communities from Alabama to Washington, D.C.
I love that look, that fresh coat of ice on trees, on twigs and branches, and it's just so otherworldly. Love it.
South in its grip. Thick layers of ice are paralyzing communities from Alabama to Washington, D.C. and Atlanta. Traffic was temporarily stopped in St. Louis this weekend when a semi-truck split in half, spilling yogurt across the road.
No!
Yogurt!
No! This is just not
the yogurt!
Not a normal weather event for Oklahoma City.
Temperatures plummeted.
You guys know I love my yogurt.
Low 10
How are they going to do that to the yogurt?
In Oklahoma today, where the extreme cold is swelling shelters beyond capacity.
Like every space is filled up.
The priority is keeping people safe and warm.
Utility companies in Tennessee are expecting customers to be without power for days after freezing rain formed a layer of ice roughly an inch thick, straining power lines past their breaking points. More than 1 million people are now without electricity across the country tonight. Dave Malkoff is in Charlotte, North Carolina, where crews are working hard to keep the heat on.
See that 7,200 volt line in the woods back there? Well, a car hit a pole that took out power for 100 customers in this neighborhood. But the majority of the power outages we're seeing are over in the western part of the state, where the same high mountain terrain that.
You know, it's funny when I was out shopping last minute before the storm hit, and I saw those plows out, like just chilling in the parking lots. You know what I was out shopping for? Yogurt.
That locked-in hurricane
a whole boatload of yogurt.
Helene's winds has done it again in this storm, taking out power for thousands of families.
I had to go to 2 separate stores too, bro. The one, nope, didn't have it. I had to go to second stop. It took forever.
We're still in recovery mode.
Gotta have my yogurt, man. Okay, Ryan Wedding. The ex-Olympic snowboarder accused of running a drug ring set to appear in court for arraignment. Yeah.
A former Olympic snowboarder accused of being a drug kingpin is expected to appear in court later today. Ryan Wedding is set to be arraigned after being arrested last week in Mexico. The FBI says his organization trafficked more than 60 tons of cocaine through California. They also believe he's responsible for orchestrating multiple murders of victims and government witnesses. If convicted, Wedding could face life in prison.
What is my favorite yogurt? My favorite yogurt is Fage, 5%. You got to get the full fat, not that. No, don't get the pink one. Get the blue one. Get the blue one. Full fat, baby. Okay. None of that reduced fat bullshit. Nope. You get that. You put a little spoonful of like peach preserves in that. A little squirt of honey. Just mix that sucker up. Oh, not too much though. You don't want to overdo it. Just a touch, just a little bit. Oh, it's heavenly. Creamy, fluffy, soft, pillowy goodness. Oh, it's the best. It's the best yogurt in the world. Stunning damage in Williamson and Davidson County.
Unbelievable damage here. This is the second road I've taken to get to work, and I'm essentially going to have.
And yes, I call it faggy yogurt. I mean,
around. I'm hearing trees pop every.
I know it's faggy or whatever, whatever the fuck they say, but
right near Highway 100.
It's faggy yogurt.
At Percy Warner Park. So I was just going down Chickering Road, had to turn around. It's completely blocked, and this is just incredible. And the wind's picking up, so there'll be more to come. Unbelievable.
You know, they do make there's a Cabot 10%. If you get lucky, you can find this. If you really like full-blown fat, look out for a Cabot 10%. That's too much for me though. Like, I mean, it's freaking delicious. Don't get me wrong, but I can only do like a couple bites of that. I think it is freaking delicious though. It's really good. Hard to find. I can never find this. But the faggy yogurt is my mainstay. I get that every day, every time. All right, let's see. UK Prime Minister Starmer to head to China on Tuesday. Gonna cozy up, huh? Chinese Foreign Minister spokesperson responds to inquiry over Starmer's reported China visit, saying, "Please stay tuned." Oh. USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike group makes move amid threat from Iran. Khamenei has reportedly gone underground as carrier enters CENTCOM waters in Indian Ocean. Massive armada heading to Iran. Huh. Well, might have a
escalating threats against the U.S.
Might have a distraction from the madness at home here before too much longer.
Any attack will be considered an, quote, all-out war.
Let's bring in Victoria Coates, former Deputy National Security Advisor. So great to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us. So these protests, which have been pretty violently put down, How are these protests, do you think, different from the previous ones we've seen?
Well, Charlie, good to be with you guys from the snow globe that is Philadelphia this morning. They're different in a couple of different ways. For starters, these aren't caused by a single event. So not like the stolen election in 2009, the murder of Mahsa Amini in 2021, a sort of a catalyst. These are being caused by the systemic economic failure that is taking place in Iran. They can't prop up their currency to keep any kind of value in it. So if you sell something, a quart of milk for $2 today, that $2 is worth $1.50 tomorrow. You're losing money on every transaction. The regime can't fix that. So they've murdered some number of thousands of people. The totals are horrifying, but they can't oppress their way out of this because the protests will come back. So that's the key thing that's different this time.
Right. And Victoria, we can show a map of the locations of U.S. Navy assets in the Middle East. It's obviously growing. President Trump called it an armada in comments. Do you think we're headed for a strike in Iran?
Well, he's certainly going to keep all of his options on the table. That's the key thing, Griff, is that the president, is moving these assets back in. And in the 12-day war last June, the Iranians were shown to be completely powerless against the Americans. So they can make all the threats they want, and the Israelis, by the way. And they're threatening this morning to close down the Strait of Hormuz, that little choke point at the mouth of the Persian Gulf, where about a quarter of the world's oil goes through every day. They can do that, but that's suicide for them economically. It goes back to that same problem.
Indeed.
So really quickly, we know that the president eliminated the ability for Iran to use that nuclear weapon when they did Operation Midnight Hammer. A lot of people looking at what's happening here in the United States, our cities in distress. They want to know why does this matter to us? Why should we get involved? Really quickly, Victoria, what would be your answer?
Oh, come on.
My answer would be, Rachel, precisely that. The Iranians want to threaten the United States with a nuclear weapon. That's the president's bottom line, not regime change, a nuclear weapon and a theocratic power. So that's something we have to keep an eye on.
Oh, oops. Well, whatever. We got most of the way through it. Yeah, interesting. Do they have any more detail in the article here? Yeah, okay. Reports say Khamenei has gone underground. Leading U.S. drone expert on Sunday said that Iran's drone swarms would pose a credible and serious threat to the Lincoln and its strike group. Top U.S. officials said the Lincoln was not yet ready for any possible future strikes against Iran. I don't know what that means. Cameron Chell, CEO and co-founder of Dragonfly, I think they're a drone company, right? Told Fox that Iran has created an effective asymmetric threat against highly sophisticated military systems with its fleet of unmanned drones. Yeah, I mean, they're not very capable in most other ways, but when it comes to drones, that is something they do have. Pairing low-cost warheads and inexpensive delivery platforms, yeah. Timing of this definitely seems interesting, though. I question how much this is actually to do with Iran. I would think it's probably more to do with the things that are going on here at home. And positioning our assets defensively while things get hairy here. Which they are. Rights group says confirmed Iran protest toll near 6,000. Wow. Black Islamist stabs Christian man and his dog in Parkland, Washington after the Muslim asked the man his religion. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Wonder where the outrage for this will be.
At a corner store just up the street. The stabbing happened at the SS Quick Stop grocery store. Pierce County deputies say the victim told officers that the suspect asked what religion he was, and when he said he was a Christian, the suspect reportedly stabbed him and his dog. Both were taken to hospitals in serious condition, and deputies say the dog went into emergency surgery. Deputies were searching for the suspect then for more than 2 hours after he ran from the stabbing scene. He was spotted by deputies around 8:40 a.m. who made contact with the suspect in a house's backyard. Armed with multiple knives, officers say the suspect was resisting arrest and made movements toward deputies. He was then shot by multiple deputies. Police say he was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Now the Pierce County Force Investigation Team is handling the scene.
Jeez. I hate to say it, but I think in the current atmosphere, this is just going to get lost in the mess with Minneapolis. It's just going to get drowned in that sea of bullshit. If it were any other time, I mean, this could end up like another Irina Zarutska or whatever. Is that her name? Yeah, Zarutska. This is just... why is this happening here? It's time to put a stop to it, I think. Long past time. Well, I really hope it doesn't get drowned out, because that is a big deal. Wow, Tim Waltz last night. Damn proud of Minnesota. Okay, Coach Tim. He's like, they're begging for it. At this point, I think they want Trump to call the Insurrection Act. They want it. They want him to do it. They want him to declare war. Even though, I mean, effectively, they've already done so. The way things work, they know they'll be able to spin it on him and claim that he's, literally Hitler, declaring war on poor little Minnesota. I think they want him to do it. It's the only way to explain why it's being so provocative and open. Like, out on his lawn with the crowd of morons, egging them on camera. Like, I think Trump's probably onto it, though, seeing as he hasn't called it yet. Curious what his plan is, though, to kind of work around that. Deputy AG Todd Blanche just said it perfectly. Okay, it's on Minnesota. Let's see.
In one city, we have this outrage and this powder keg happening, and it's not right, and it doesn't happen anywhere else, and it's simply because of one reason, and that's leadership in that state. When there was all the focus on the billions and billions of dollars in fraud happening in Minneapolis, suddenly Minneapolis becomes a powder keg. And the people that caused that to happen were the governor, the mayor, the attorney general, Omar. They're the ones that incited rhetoric, encouraged these rioters to go with their cell phones, not to peacefully protest, but to go out and do exactly what was happening on Saturday morning. And so there was a powder keg, and it was absolutely lit by that leadership.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche.
In one city,
it was. Definitely don't envy the admin on this. They have quite a minefield to navigate, figuring this out. Anything they do could end up just, lighting a fuse that sparks off something infinitely worse. But then again, the consequences of not acting are clearly fucking unacceptable. Like they can't do that. I don't envy them one bit, I gotta say. Thankfully, I think they have some bright minds and obviously a lot of resources on tap to try to figure out how to navigate the right path through all this. So confident if anyone can do it, it's the people there. I know not all of them are perfect, to be sure, but there are some who are I know personally to be very good people and want very much to make sure that this is halted and prevented. So just pray they can do it without making things explode, you know. Gold prices surged past 5,100. Wow. As central banks and investors sought refuge from geopolitical risks and Trump-induced market volatility. That's funny. Hong Kong signed a deal with Shanghai Gold Exchange on Monday to foster gold trading. Interesting. Planning to vastly expand its storage capacity for the safe haven asset, which is hitting new highs. Yep. Silver too. How crazy is silver going now? Dear God, it's still going up. Ooh-wee. Okay. Anderson Pooper in Minnesota, huh? They sent the Pooper to Minnesota. Pooper talks with Senator Amy Klobuchar. Wow, where's she been? In Minneapolis following the killing of Alex Pretty.
Well, tonight, federal officials are refusing to provide critical details to Minnesota officials about the investigation into the fatal shooting of Alex Pretty. They have not been cooperating at all. Minnesota Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar joins us now. Senator, I appreciate you being here. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances. What is your biggest concern right now?
Well, my biggest concern is to get ICE out of our state. It is still a dangerous situation. They are still here. We've seen no sign that they've left. There's 3,000 of them and 1,100 sworn police officers from Minneapolis, St. Paul. Actually, they're bigger than ICE, and Border Control is bigger than our 10 metropolitan police forces. So it's a complete imbalance. Our police officers are exhausted. They should be doing their jobs, but they're getting called to the scenes where 2-year-olds are taken away on a plane to Texas, or where kids can't go into their school. So that is my number one concern, to get ICE out. My second one is to honor the memory of these two innocent citizens, of course, Renee and then Alex Pretty. The fact that they are blocking any kind of investigation, which is really fairly routine when horrific things happen like this. Local, state, federal have come together in the past, not just in Minnesota, but other places, to investigate. And I just think, I don't know if they think this is like a Trump cabinet meeting and they can just say things that aren't true and lie and everyone's going to believe it. Everyone can see that video. Everyone can see with any kind of enhancement that he wasn't brandishing a gun. He was brandishing a cell phone, and that it was...
What, so they're supposed to somehow see through him and know that?
Was the agent...
All in the span of a tenth of a second?
That removed the gun.
Get the fuck out of here.
From his back pocket. So there is plenty of evidence, of course, for our criminal Bureau of Apprehension to be able to, Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, be able to look at, but they need access to everything. And I hope this happens. It must, because we must have a transparent and fair investigation for the public to have any trust.
Is it possible to have a fair investigation if it's the Department of Homeland Security doing the investigation and Kristi Noem has come out immediately
with her own judgment?
With her own judgment, labeling this ICU.
These fucking people, man. Pardon me. Then we got this one.
It looks very untrained. It looks unprofessional. It looks very chaotic. It doesn't look like there's clear teamwork tactically to achieve the same objective. And it's very untrained. It looks unprofessional. It looks very chaotic.
Why? Gee, why wouldn't it be? Hello, did you have any idea what the fuck they have to deal with on the ground? Are you kidding me? It looks chaotic. Of course it does. They have to go in the midst of the worst chaos I've seen on television in fucking years.
It doesn't look like there's clear teamwork.
Why wouldn't it be chaotic? Like, what the hell? They're surrounded by hundreds of psychotic, like, wine moms with freaking whistles blaring in their ears, getting bricks chucked at them
to achieve the same objective. And it is absolutely not how we train law enforcement in Minnesota. And I think the greater issue, the greater concern is, people should be able to have an expectation that the federal government can enforce federal immigration law without these poor tactics and really unconstitutional practices. Looks very
fucking unreal. This guy, I'm telling you, he did something. He did something 20 or so years ago, and he's been paying for it ever since. You can see it all over him. Maria Bartiromo just torched Tim Walz on Fox.
It's true, and you have seen Tim Walz and the Democrats tell citizens to rise up from the beginning here. And Tim Walz was out just 2 weeks ago telling citizens to get up in Border Patrol faces and snap the video and record all of this. I mean, this is dangerous rhetoric. Of course, these Border Patrol agents are going to respond if they see even a little bit of a threat.
Well, we live in a society that basically the more anger, the more you can show people that you're getting muscled down by the government, or you're standing in front of a vehicle that is trying to go down the street and it's being driven by law enforcement. That is their stock and trade online. And this performative nature of these protests is one thing. Listen, I support people's right to peacefully protest. That is something that is special to the United States. It is special.
Yeah, that ain't this, though.
To me as an American. That's why
it's true.
And this guy, I mean, like, where were you, buddy? All the shit he's going to talk about them being disorganized and
tactically to achieve the same objective.
Where were you again, tactically speaking? Oh, fucking nowhere to be found. Ilhan Omar wealth mystery. Yeah.
House GOP preparing for court showdown to unravel why Ilhan Omar's net worth skyrocketed up to $30 million. She, of course, also represents parts of Minneapolis, and so that's why it makes this particular story even that much more unique and pertinent today. Obviously, red flags were raised after the Minnesota Democrat had a modest income last year and now is reporting about $30 million in assets. Representative James Comer is digging in for a long legal battle in order to get to the bottom of all of this. Two companies that Representative Omar's husband has a stake in are of specific concern here after they both posted sudden surges in assets for the couple. Brian, something just doesn't smell right here on its face. In general, question for you, you have a little bit more expertise, but is being a lawmaker on Capitol Hill these days also just a good business move, not a good political move?
Well, they always talk about insider trading and the wealth that's accumulated from people in a government position. Let me tell you where a lot of that insider trading would happen. It wouldn't be from a congressional standpoint, because a lot of times those individuals like Ilhan Omar aren't involved in contracts that the government might pick up or give out to the public sector. Now, people that are on committees, people that are in appropriations or any other high-ranking chairman, those are the guys that know the contracts that are going out for in particular industries. Now, Ilhan Omar, I don't really know much about how she gained her wealth, but I do know we've seen the fraud that has taken place within her community. And without a doubt, I would imagine some of that money has been funneled through, just like we saw, Terrence, on USAID. Same thing. A lot of this money that was going to these NGOs were going back into Democrat pockets.
Okay. Gosh. Oh, this wacko.
Hi, I'm Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty, and I want to update you on our latest efforts to conduct a transparent and thorough investigation into the killing of Alex Preddy. Last night, our office, in conjunction with the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which is represented by the Attorney General's office, filed a lawsuit seeking to prevent the destruction of evidence related to the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy. Within hours, a federal judge granted our motion for a temporary restraining order, sometimes referred to as a TRO, which immediately ordered the federal government not to destroy any evidence related to the shooting of Mr. Preddy. Tomorrow, on January 26, we will go to federal court to continue to fight for all evidence to be preserved so that we can have a full and transparent state investigation. The BCA has the authority to investigate, and our office has jurisdiction to review this matter for potential criminal conduct by the federal agents involved, and we will do so. Our state and local law enforcement has jurisdiction to investigate potential violations of Minnesota law by any individual in this state, regardless of who they work for. I am not asking for patience. We've been through too much. My office is working around the clock on multiple incidents regarding federal agents' use of force. This is an unprecedented moment in American history, and it's happening on our streets. We will endure this, and you have my commitment. We will continue to do everything in our power for accountability. Thank you.
Disgusting. Obama.
We did not see the president today, but he was active on social media, calling on Democratic governors and mayors to cooperate with the federal government. Earlier, he complained about efforts to stop his building of a big ballroom. In another post, he focused on what he called massive financial fraud in Minnesota. It was Saturday that he addressed this latest fatal shooting, writing, "Let our ICE patriots do their job." He also accused the mayor of Minneapolis and governor of Minnesota of inciting insurrection. The administration's immigration crackdown in Minnesota is now entering its 9th week. Its stated goal was to apprehend criminals, but there's growing uproar over ICE tactics, and administration claims without evidence that the latest shooting victim, Alex Preddy, was a domestic terrorist. This past week, Vice President J.D. Vance visited the state, doubling down on the administration's actions. At the same time, and this image of a detained 5-year-old boy dominated media coverage of the crackdown nationwide. And tonight, Senate Democrats say they've seen
freaking people, man. Wow. California Post launches today, bringing the New York Post hard-hitting, plain-spoken journalism to the West Coast. Interesting move. Okay.
We really want to bring common sense journalism back to California, and Nick has put together an incredible team of all-star journalists, absolutely the most incredible people I've ever worked with, very hard to keep up with. My job is to run the opinion section, and we really want to be a sounding board. You know,
Joe Pollock.
Everyone's talking about the Rams in LA, but Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr said last night that it's too bad we're all at each other's throats. And that's because we don't have enough places to come back and find out about each other's views. And the California Post wants to provide a platform for views that have been suppressed for too long and to make sure that people have a voice. And Nick and the team he's brought to this task have really done an incredible job. We're very proud of the paper today.
I mean, you can't go out in California, Nick, and not think about entertainment, Hollywood, and where it's gone. That's also a story, but still a lot of the who's who of Hollywood is there. And that's the cover of your first ever California Post. Tell me about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've got a really good exclusive today, Brian. I'm really excited to shine a light on a scandal inside Hollywood. It involves a couple of brothers and a fallout, and we tell the story of what led to that fallout. It was put together by our new team.
I was wondering about that. Interesting. What? Yeah, these guys were talented couple of. I mean, they worked together like as brothers on incredible films, very good films. One of my favorites from them starred Adam Sandler. What's it called? Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems. Excellent movie. Yeah, just noticed that one of them had released a film alone, which is
Page 6 Hollywood.
Just weird. So I wonder if this is a political split. Is it a political split?
A couple of brothers and a fallout, and we tell the story of what led to that fallout. It was put together by our new team called Page 6 Hollywood. Their job is really simple, to tell the stories behind the scenes of what's happening in this amazing, really important business, and tell the stories that others would not tell, and tell it fearlessly. And that's going to be a really important part of the California Post. We're telling the stories others won't. We're shining a light on the powerful.
We really want. That's an interesting move. I don't think there's really anyone filling that niche. All the California-centric media is just lost. At least like the nationally consumed California-centric media, you know. All the Entertainment Today type stuff, all the people that cover Hollywood for the national audience. It's a good move. Smart. At least, well, I hope so. We'll see. We'll see if they make it, financially speaking. American says he's been blocked from making doctor's appointments for his 12-year-old child in California because the state says 12-year-olds have a right to make their own medical decisions. What? There's no way. What?
I cannot explain how ridiculous the state of California is. My 12-year-old son, he needs to schedule an appointment himself to go see a doctor or a specialist. Because when you're 12 in this state, apparently you can make your own medical decisions. We don't have access to his account with scripts. He has to go in there and do everything. This state is absolutely insane. I should have known when I was working as a janitor in 2017 and I saw Time magazine in every single classroom with a man on the cover that was pregnant. It was a woman with a beard. And you were showing that around Time magazine to all the kids from 1st grade through 6th grade. So my state sucks. It's gone loony, but also the weather's great.
There's that.
The weather is great. I cannot.
It's the little things, I guess. All right. I'm sending Tom Homan to Minnesota tonight, Trump says. This is last night, I assume. He has not been involved in that area, but knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough but fair and will report directly to me. Good. Homan will get this ship sailing right, I think. Separately, a major investigation is going on with respect to the massive $20 billion plus welfare fraud, $20 billion, that has taken place in Minnesota and is at least partially responsible for the violent organized protests going on in the streets. Oh, all that money, man. Hey. Additionally, the DOJ and Congress are looking at Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who left Somalia with nothing and is now reportedly worth more than $44 million. Time will tell all. Huh. Thank you for your attention to this matter. All right. Minnesota Secretary of State Simon on DOJ's request for voter information. Yeah, no, of course. Of course he says no. He's complicit. Oh, and then we got this piece of work.
Hey friends, Keith Ellison here, your Minnesota Attorney General. I just finished a press conference with Governor Walz. We filed a lawsuit a couple of weeks ago against the Department of Homeland Security in Kristi Noem because of this illegal, unconstitutional Operation Metro Surge. That lawsuit will be heard Monday morning, 9 a.m., January 26th, and we will argue that the federal government is violating the Constitution and laws of the United States by having this unprecedented deployment of immigration authorities, north of 3,000 agents And yet Minnesota, it does not have the most immigration in this country. They claimed it's about fraud, but how does an armed man waving a gun and wearing a mask advance the cause of fraud protection and prevention? It doesn't. It's obvious. So Minnesotans, you have stood up. You have demanded that this government, this federal government, obey the law, respect the Constitution, respect the individual rights of Minnesotans. And your officials, like the governor and myself, are standing up there to protect that, to stand at the front of the line protecting your rights.
Okay. Yeah. Dirtbag. Can't wait to see him cuffed. Steve Scalise on the shooting.
What are your thoughts? You heard what your colleague James Comer said. Do you think that Border Patrol should leave Minnesota?
Well, morning, Maria. And first of all, let's remember, ICE is in a lot of places around the country and Border Patrol, and you don't have these problems anywhere but Minneapolis. That's because you've got very failed leadership on the ground there, both the mayor and the governor. By the way, go back, remember the Summer of Love, where they let their own city burn down. These are failed leaders who want to defund ICE. They defunded police. You know, the police chief of Minneapolis yesterday said multiple times how stretched thin his department is. They don't have enough people because Minneapolis defunded the police. Every other city, they help ICE and work with ICE. They're not for a lot of reasons because they're a sanctuary city.
What are your thoughts? You heard what your
Oh, yeah. I wanted to see this one. Largest refugee settlement NGO in the country is taxpayer funded and is giving money to the Somali American Community Center. How about that?
Congress is trying to give $5 billion of your money for refugee resettlement programs, and then it ends up in places like
this. This is the International Rescue Committee, the largest refugee NGO in the country. They get the government funds and subcontract the work out to places like
this. This is the Somali American Community Center. It receives grants from the IRC in order to help refugees resettle in America.
But when we went in, we found this.
An almost completely abandoned retail space which hasn't filed taxes in almost 10 years.
Where almost every business is focused on getting refugees on taxpayer-funded welfare programs.
And that is how the largest refugee city in the country is funded.
And how over 87% of Somali immigrants end up on taxpayer-funded public assistance.
We spent 3 days in Little Somalia in Atlanta, Georgia.
The largest refugee center in the entire country. And this is what we found.
Congress is trying to give $5 billion of your money for refugee resettlement.
Jeez. Full video coming out today. Kat, what are you doing? No, not on the shoulder. Come on. Aw, dude. I don't want that in my face. Thank you. All right. Oh, let me pull that up. Hold on. Riots continue. I shot another Antifa rioter in Minneapolis, striking her hand with non-lethal ammo.
Medic. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It probably snapped her finger or something.
Oh my god.
Bend that thing back. These things can do some damage, man.
Oh my god.
She's freaking out. She must. It looks like it's bleeding. I can't really tell. That's too much. That's great. All right. Where were we? Come on now. Oh, what is this? Huh? What the? Uh-oh. Oh, and they got you, Steph. We'll pull it this way. Where were we here? There. Okay. Large Marge says you're all being incited into civil war. Duh. See, stating the obvious. Thank you, Marge. It's bitter cold morning in Oxford, Mississippi. Most of the area without power. Wow. Whoa. It's quite a bit of ice.
Good morning. In a very cold and crisp Oxford, Mississippi, a lot of the town, most of the town is without power. Temperatures down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit and cooler across this area. If you need help out here, we are going to be around chainsawing trees that are blocking driveways and doing welfare checks as well. So if you have any loved ones in Oxford that need to be checked on or they have trees blocking their driveway, I'll be working with the United Cajun Navy and Team Dominator Storm Recovery Group today as we are going to try to cut through some trees and also check on some people after a very cold night here in Oxford, Mississippi.
Wow. It's beautiful though, isn't it? Just so cool looking. Incredible. If it weren't for all the destruction that ends up coming with it, it's like magical looking. It's amazing. Especially in that morning light, just beautiful. New York Times allows Peter Strzok to mislead on Watchdog's Crossfire Hurricane findings in an attack on Kash Patel. No surprise they're on his side, you know. Okay. Oh, nice.
What I would do is just bring Tom Homan in. Tom Homan's been marginalized. Go in there. Tom Homan's got credibility on the left. He was Barack Obama and Jay Johnson's main guy.
I mean, not anymore. They hate him.
He's got credibility, obviously, on the right. He met Donald Trump when Donald Trump started running for president and loved his philosophy on the border and sealed the border. But where's he been? He should go in there, meet with the mayor and governor, and go in there and take charge. He knows this stuff backwards and forwards. There's no more experienced person. He's got the president's trust.
I agree.
But for some reason, it's been marginalized in the Minneapolis operation.
Yeah, I actually hadn't thought about it, but it is odd in hindsight. Like, wonder why that is. Whatever the case, Trump, of course, it seems, was listening, and just a short while later announced that he's sending home to Minnesota. Ah, yes. Ye is apologizing officially. I am so sorry to have let you down. He apologized Monday for his poor judgment and reckless behavior in recent years that apparently came as a result of a frontal lobe injury that wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023. It was causing his manic behavior, which it certainly was. And then some. It says medical oversight led to bipolar diagnosis. I lost touch with reality. Things got worse. The longer I ignored the problem, I said and did things I deeply regret. Some of the people I love the most, I treated the worst. Oh, if he means it, I mean, it's sad. He was clearly dealing with something, so. Hope he's on the mend. For all our sakes. President Trump says his administration is reviewing everything after a protester was killed.
So far, the president is declining to say if CBP acted appropriately here on Saturday, but he does say the case is under review. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, the president says this: we're reviewing everything, and we'll come out with a determination. I don't like any shooting. I don't like it, but I don't like it when somebody goes into a protest and he's got a very powerful, fully loaded gun with 2 magazines loaded up with bullets also. That doesn't play good either. Our Bill Malugin, in the meantime, is also reporting that more than half a dozen federal law enforcement sources have expressed to him internal frustration and anger with the messaging and tactics coming out of the Department of Homeland Security, specifically leaders in this case going on TV, putting out statements claiming Alex Peretti was intending to conduct a, quote, massacre of federal agents. While these sources support the president's deportation agenda, they do not like these narratives that are being pushed by top officials. The Department of Homeland Security did give us a statement in response to this reporting. They say we have seen a highly coordinated campaign of violence against our law enforcement. This individual committed a federal crime while armed as he obstructed an active law enforcement operation. As with any situation that is evolving, we work to give swift, accurate information to the American people as more information becomes available. Here's Todd Blanche.
It would do everybody in this country a lot better if honesty were spoken from the leadership in Minnesota.
I think we saw that clip already. We'll keep going. And just a short few minutes left here. Homan.
6% decline. 96% less people are coming. How many women aren't being raped? How many children aren't dying making that journey? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked into this country every day? How many known suspected terrorists aren't just walking across that border? President Trump and this administration is saving thousands of lives every month. Hard stop. That's just a stone cold fact. I'm just proud to be a part of this. I work with Steve Miller every day. Steve Miller is one of the most brilliant people I've met in my entire life.
Absolutely is. White House press briefing, 1 p.m. today. Mamdani says he texts Trump. They're texting. Oh, what I would pay. Oh, what I would pay to be a fly on that wall. Oh, man. I bet those are interesting. Comer, this is from yesterday. Speaking about, well, that's quite long. We'll keep going. Posting here, though, I appreciate Trump's kind words after watching my interview with Bartiromo. Well, maybe we ought to watch it. I don't know. Oh, President Trump prepares to restore order. What is this? Reportedly considering invoking the Insurrection Act. They've been signaling this on and off for forever.
We might be at a strategic inflection point in terms of what's going on from a White House standpoint. President Trump, of course, has already threatened more than once about imposing the Insurrection Act.
This guy's just a podcaster. I mean, yeah. I don't think he's got anything that anyone else doesn't know. West Virginia librarian Morgan Morrow has been arrested following our reporting of her post appearing to recruit individuals to assassinate Trump. What? I missed that one. Wow. Yeah, I'm glad that's behind bars. Just one look at that face, those eyes. All you need. Nope. Off the streets you go. Mark Rutte addresses European Parliament amid U.S. push to acquire Greenland.
At the height of the Cold War, there were 10,000 American troops stationed here in Greenland, and there was a top-secret program, Project Iceworm, which...
Get to Rutte.
He's calling for a ceasefire, so to speak. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte will address the European Parliament in Brussels in about an hour. Ahead of his speech, he spoke to a Dutch news outlet. Recall, Rutte was Prime Minister of the Netherlands for over a decade. He's calling for a ceasefire, so to speak, and perhaps sending a message to Canada with this, quote, "If anyone thinks we can just do without America for a while, forget it. The American nuclear umbrella is our ultimate security guarantee." Here's a former U.S. ambassador.
He gets it.
To Denmark.
Denmark has no interest in securing Greenland. They can't afford to. It's all they can do to send that welfare transfer every year of about $600 million. So President Trump is right. Greenland is unsecure today.
Now, some context for you in New York, Griff. Denmark's military is about half the size of the NYPD, the New York Police Department. The population of Denmark is only twice the size of Brooklyn. And the population of Greenland, just 57,000 strong, could fit into the seats of any NFL stadium. Perhaps that tees you up. Talk about those playoff games.
It's crazy. 57,000. All right. Any last minute stuff here? Israel says the remains of the final hostage in Gaza have been recovered, clearing the way for the next phase of the ceasefire. That is big news. Ooh, what is this? Chris Madel says, "I'm ending my campaign for Minnesota governor. I describe why in the below video." Who is this guy? Like, who's he with? Is he independent? He's got like no followers, so I'm going to assume so. Well, I wish I had time to watch that. I'm going to save that for later because I do want to see that. All right, last up. Whoa. Meet Eric Martindale, a registered Florida nurse. He says he won't give anesthesia for Republicans undergoing surgery and believes that that is his right and it's ethical. "I will not perform anesthesia for any surgeries or procedures for MAGA. It is my right, it is my ethical oath, and I stand behind my education. I own all of my businesses, and I can refuse anyone." Oh boy, they're losing it. They lost it. They lost it a long time ago. All right, that's it. We'll stop there. I think we're a few minutes over. Apologies. How you doing?
Pretty good. My daughter texted me I think it was a Facebook post from a director of a social organization in her town that basically threatened ICE, all of ICE agents.
These people think they can get away with saying like anything on social media, on like their personal like little social media accounts. They think it won't get out there, no one will see it.
Yeah,
it's crazy how convinced they are of like everyone else thinking exactly the same way as them.
Yeah. Well, the company itself, they stood up and said no. But yeah, it's amazing how they are so unaware of the consequences.
Right. Yeah. They're nuts.
So, well, you have a good afternoon, and I'll take off from here.
I surely will. Yeah, you have a good show, sir.
Sure.
See you around.
Hello, everybody. I am